Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail. And the last parts, I think we did the Easter events, the Hatching Tide. Now we are out to do something else. And normally this is something that I wouldn't do so early on, but we are going to be doing the Dawntrail's equivalent of the Gatherer, quote-unquote, job quest. We've done this previously before in Shadowbringers and Endwalker, where each job, and similarly to the normal like battle job quest that we did with the treasures for each job typing. Now we're up to the gatherer side of things. So with this one, this guy manages the both miner and botanist one, and Fisher is way down at the end of the road over there. So we're gonna be banging these ones out. Since I have already got my gatherers to level 100, which is pretty early on compared to when I normally get these guys to level 100. Because usually I don't really level my gatherers or my crafters until the subsequent tribal quest series comes out for them. But with the release of the cosmic exploration stuff, it's kind of fun actually. So I figured I'd do it, load up my gatherers, and as you can see, I'm trying in the midst of getting blacksmith loaded up too. It's slow progress, but getting there. So those will eventually come. Don't win, but for right now, we are doing the gatherers, and as you can see, I actually work towards the relics, which I've normally never really grind for gatherer relics, because you know I'm not really all that into the relic weapons for these. They're not really weapons, the relic tools, I should say. Not really into them, but I figured I'm leveling these guys up, might as well do it. Pretty fun. Except for Fisher. Fisher was a pain in the fucking ass. But I got all the relic weapons with these guys. So I keep saying relic weapons, the relic tools. So I got these guys all set to go. So yeah. We gotta talk to this man. Hey buddy. You're a woman who plucks the finest the land's offerings with their own hands, am I right? Yes. I knew it was the moment I set eyes upon you. I share the same passion. In fact, or at least I used to. For many years that I worked in the employ of Shunye's Apothcary, gathering only specimens of the utmost quality. Alas, such work wears on the body, and mine was about had its fill. Every day my knees and back make new cries of protest, so I finally decided to leave this business to younger hands. And yours look fit to succeed me, maybe even surpass me. I reckon you'd fill my old position at Shunye's Apothcary nicely. You will fill it, won't you? I hate for Shunye to be left alone to prop up such a bustling business. Consider the opportunity. I promise you'd be hard-pressed to find a better man to work for. You can find him at the far end of the marketplace. At least go see what he's about, will you? Why do you gotta listen to me to do your shit? What if I just pass him through? Like, what the fuck? Alright. Alright, man. This guy's the Fisher dude. I'll be back with you later. Hey, man. Oh, hello there. Apologies for not noticing you. Merchant work is endless, as you see, and I find myself short-handed these days. Get some snazzy gear. Welcome to Shunye's Apothcary, friend. Are you searching for something specific? Perhaps one of my displays caught your eye. I'm not really. Let's see, he's got medicine, he's got baskets, he's got jewels and crystals everywhere. Huh, I've seen that look before. You're wondering just what sort of shot this is. To put it simply, I'm purveying goods which promote a healthy body and mind. I'm not sure what crystals and gems have to do with the healthy body and mind, but hey, to each their own. Herbs to cleanse mild ailments, incense to calm the senses, stones to massage aching shoulders, so I guess that's why he answered my question, and much more, as you can see. Naturally, this requires the use of various plants and minerals which possess uncommon, and some would say even mystical properties, which I acquire from discerning and trusted gatherers. However, the flow of goods is really slow to a trickle, and I found it quite difficult to keep myself stocked. I may find my selection somewhat wanting, if I'm being honest. So you must be the gatherer Ropley spoke of. Are you here to offer your services? Of course, I'm more than grateful for the help. I hope this is the start of a mutually pleasant relationship, Cecil. Excuse me, but are you the proprietor of the shop? Is it true that you're of the Shitona tribe? Yes, on both counts. What brings you to Shunye's Apothcary, friend? I'm Uvlo. What the fuck kind of name is that? Looks like someone just smashed a keyboard. Uvlo Jajuwez. What a fucking name. How do you even pronounce that? I'm just call you Uvlo. Makes it easier. I hail from the village of Kugama. It sounds like Kugane. Located on the eastern continent of Lothar. Oh, that explains why. I've never even heard of that village before. I was traveling in the three great continents in an effort to expand my horizons when I learned of a people similar to the Vairo who live in Tyrell. I wish to learn cannot read or speak today. Shit! I wish to learn all I could of them, so I boarded the first ship across the sea once I could find. Once at port, I asked where I might find any Shitona, and I was pointed here. Please allow me to serve you. I can hunt, I can fight, and I can gather. Surely one of my skills can be of use. What a day this has turned out to be. One moment desperate for help, the next spoiled for choice. Uvla, was it? I know you've come far, and I can sense your sincerity, but my conversation doesn't fetch so high a price. Simply purchase one of my wares, and we can chat for as long as you like. He's got that look determined. It's a stare down! I have no money. Not even a single coin. I spent my very last one hiring a ship to bring me here. Ah, then I can't very well expect your custom, can I? Apologies for the interruption, Cessa. Where were we? Ah, yes. Would you be greeted with a small test of your talents before we begin our work in earnest? Suppose I'll be testing you too. That is, of course, assuming you still wish to work with me. Of course! I'm at your disposal. You only need to tell me what to do. Then your task is simple. Bring me goods I can sell to eager customers. There's no better way to take stock of your talents. That's easy enough. Shunye's Apothcary! Oh, joy. And so it begins. Now it's time to get started. I want both of you to head to Urko and bring back an assortment of my most popular staples. Namely, I'm looking for maca, a plant which imparts unflagging vigor, and springstone, which is used to warm the body and soothe aches on the muscles. You can remake whichever is easier for you to gather. Either will sell it just as quickly. Since this is your only trial, let's just start with, say, 6 or so? 6 springstones from Urko. Understood. I shall return with haste. He's so eager. Respect it. Alright, attempt to deliver request and I need dealies. Deliver Shunye's state apothecary staples gathered from the Miplu's mate garden in Shunye. So is it the same system? Yep, sure is. It's the same system, so I need 6 dealies to go to the next esteem level. Alright. Alright. Where's my teleport? I move my hot paws around for the damn cosmic exploration, which is kind of fun actually. I might just show it off at the end of this video, just to show you what it's looked like. It's actually kind of fun. It sucks that there's there's really no story to it though. Otherwise, I would have made a video about it. I need to go to Urko. Where is Urko? I'm already lost. Don't know where to go. There you are. I'm looking at the wrong bitch. Bitch? Wrong batch. Oops. Excuse me. And as you see, I had to blow a lot of money on Everseeker gear. I think it was like I was like what 28 million before. Now I'm at 19. So I need to start making my money back. Need to start making my money back. Gotta go over there. Alright, what I'll do is I'll do the gather one with this one. So if you aren't familiar with how this works, then going forward, I will start cutting out the gathering and the delivery segments. So I'll do just the one for right now. Doesn't really matter what I grab, huh? I'll just need this. Well, there's two of them. Where is... There you are. Hey, nice. There's 4. Do that. Then there's 6. Alright. Back to Thule. That's pretty much the gist of how this whole this whole thing works. Now, if you've seen the past videos of this type of thing from Endwalker and Shadowbringers, then you'll already know the process for it. And obviously, if you've done it yourself, then you obviously know what the process is. Pretty simple, nothing to it. Nothing to it. Alright, man. I got your stuff. I've been successful in my gather. I'm the champ! That was quicker than I expected. Let's see. Oh my, this delivery is better than I could have imagined. Almost too good, in fact. Our customers might come to take such quality for granted. Thanks for your hard work. It's always comforting to see my shelves stocked. Yay, nice. How'd my compatriot go? Don't want that. Must say, there's no greater reassurance than knowing I have wares to sell. Even though this was just but a trial run, you conduct yourself flawlessly. What about my compatriot? Truth be told, when I first began this endeavor, I didn't imagine I would sell such a wide array of goods. But health is a goal we all share, and there are any number of ways to pursue it. Take Maka, for instance. It thrives from the harsh climes of Urko, accumulating nutrients from its unique environment. It's been a favorite ever since, a memorial for its nutritional value and invigorating properties. Springstone, on the other hand, is a type of volcanic rock. It retains heat rather well, so after a bit of polishing and warming, you can place it in your pocket or directly on the skin. Even in hotter regimes, it's used to relieve stiff muscles and troublesome aches. I know you came to me seeking gainful employment, but you must place your own health first and foremost. If everything ever ails you, I will welcome your customer with open arms. Speaking of which, you haven't seen Uvlo, have you? Hope he hasn't gotten lost. Judging by his story, he arrived in Tyrol only shortly before visiting my shop. His confident stride suggests he knew where he was going, but how could he? I am returned, Master Shunye. I hope my deliveries meet with your satisfaction. Well, I suppose there was no need to worry. Yes, these are good. They'll certainly sell. Forgive my imposition, but have you been in Tyrol before? Or did you hire someone to guide you? Neither. This is my first time in Tyrol, and I have no money for a guide. Yet, the city is home to a great many people. If you ask around for information, you can piece together any puzzle in time. That is, of course, if you have the patience to do so. Does this mean you've reached a decision regarding my employment? Indeed, you did well today. So, for the time being, I have no objection to continue our business relationship. Hallelujah! And of course, I'd like to continue working with you as well as Cecila. However, I understand you want the type to stay in one place over long. Let's keep it simple, shall we? Stop by whenever you have time for a few tasks, and I shall recompense you accordingly. Then settled. Don't be a stranger, Cecila. Cecila? Forgive my rudeness for not introducing myself earlier. I'm an Ulvo of the Kugama village. I hope to learn much from someone of your experience. Just like I hope to learn from the Shitono from you, Master Shunye. May we all prosper under your tutelage. Uh-oh. Well, I may prove to be a worthless teacher in that regard, but I suppose I can try. As for mutual prosperity, that depends on us. That's to say, we need to get selling. My customers will be pleased to see my stocks replenished at last. Hey. I'm a greenhorn. And that's pretty much the gist of it, how it goes. These are hardcore deals, right? Good, I was starting to run a little bit low. Not really, but you know what I mean. Replenish the stock that I had used. Good day, Cecila. Are you here for more work? I could certainly use the help. Thank you. Having another deft hand at my disposal will speed things along. How's Ulval getting on? He's doing quite well, all things considered. The only hurdle to speak of has been his complete lack of funds. Couldn't even afford to lodge himself. He assured me that he has no qualms sleeping under the stars, but I can't very well have my employees keep camping in the wilds like common vagabonds. In the end, I invited him to live with me. You may not always think ahead, but it's plain that in all other respects, he's quite thorough. He's neat and organized, he's never been late, and is ever quick to ask questions when something confounds him. I suppose this is a natural consequence of his upbringing. He said he never lacked for mentors growing up. A much different life than what I led. The men of my people spend much of their time alone, and as a result, many of us develop habits more lax than not. myself included. Even so, I find his scrupulous attitude refreshing. Is there work to be done? Just so, Ulo, if you're finished taking stock, I would ask you to accompany us to gather a few more things to sell. Of course, working with someone more experienced than myself is always a pleasure. Good, good. Today will be very similar to the last time. I want you to bring more of my popular products, namely those that benefit the soul. Firstly, cuttings from the fragrant tree that is said to purify the body of toxins. Secondly, a type of amethyst that's treasured in Dawntrail for its purported ability to calm troubled spirits. While usage of these items differs slightly depending on the customer's cultural practices, they are generally thought to ward off evil humors accumulated in the body, mind, and soul. Fascinating. Wooden stones? I thought health to be the realm of medicine and alchemy. It makes you wonder what hidden powers these objects arrayed here might possess. Of course, I only sell products of proven repute. Even that is no guarantee that an item would positively affect one's person will do the same for another. Some even purchase goods based solely on the fact that they're pleasing to the eye. Solves take many forms, as I've learned. That explains the sheer variety. Do you travel the continent in search of new goods? Not quite. I depend on gatherers such as yourselves, mostly. That and a handful of trusted merchants. I dare not leave the shop unattended for long, you see. And, well, I have my reasons for not venturing beyond the city's gates. But enough of that, yes, there's work to be done. You can find what I need in the region of Koza. As always, the higher quality of your delivery, the better your reward shall be. I'd like to test my hand at gathering, collecting bolts, Tesla. Tesla, hard to suspect you require any practice, so I trust you'll decide which task better suits your talents. Thanks, man. Wachumeqimeqi? I guess that is this place is called, isn't it? Isn't right? Wachumeqimeqi? Yeah, Wachumeqimeqi. Okay. Alright. Basically, like before, gotta gather 6 of this stuff. So, once I get this stuff, I will be back, and we will continue onwards. So, give me just one hot minute. Alright, I got the stuff. So, Shunye, here you go, man. Take it and like it. You left me speechless once again. I was afraid to examine your delivery for fear of tarnishing its beauty. I shall have to maintain a delicate touch. Don't take... This is more than suitable. Good work, Cecila. You're quite good at this, I must admit. How many hours do you reckon you spent searching for the Earth's finest bounties? Not many. I returned wood cuttings and amethysts. I hope they're up to your discerning standards. Welcome back, Uvo. Let's have a look. Uvo. Oh my. Well, I can certainly sell the wood cuttings as they are. These amethysts. They're almost flawless. Where did you find such a rich vein? I'm something of an expert in the subject of minerals, you see. I hail from the snow-capped mountains of the XIV range. I don't know what that place is. Where we have not but rock and snow to gaze upon. To the untrained eye, one stone is much the same as another, but somehow singular essences, which we have learned to identify. Some people believe these to be the souls of our forebears, returned to their ancestral home, and we carry them on our persons as a form of protection. It sounds like the job crystals. The Skate range. I'm probably botching that word so bad. Skatai. I don't know how I would pronounce that. I've never been, but my words paint a picture well enough. Beyond my own continent, I've traveled so far, as to say nothing of traveling from Tyrol. Do you have a map, Cecilla? I believe we do Master Shunye well if we consulted it. That doesn't fucking help me at all. That's a terrible description. That could be anywhere, man. You couldn't like get a zoom in on the map. Fuck. Dominating central north of the mountains mark the border between the Burn and the former kingdom of Dalmasca. Where's the Dalmasca expansion? Where's that shit at? I mean, obviously one of the expansions it's gonna take us down south because we've never been down south. That's where Marsidia is. Eventually, the expansions will take us down there. I would assume. Maybe next expansion will go to Marsidia. Yeah, I want to explore Dalmasca, man. I mean, I know we went there for the raids, and it touched upon it a little bit during Boja, but we never actually got to explore Dalmasca. I would love to go to Dalmasca, even though I couldn't care less about Final Fantasy XII, but I would love to explore Dalmasca, man. I would be open for that. My clan is known as the Vina Vira, and the settlements can be found in and around the Skate range. Kugama, my village, is among them. As in common with other Vira clans, the women oversee day-to-day life in Kugama, while the men dwell outside its gates as protectors. The land is harsh and unforgiving, but the knowledge of our ancestors teaches us how to hunt and prey. Hunt and the prey scarce, and forage when frost kills all but the hardiest plants. In this way, we lived until the Garlean Empire rose like a blight upon the earth. Although we were never threatened by them directly, the nations we'd called neighbors fell one by one to their ambition. Our elders decided to cut off all contact from the outside world, but as time went on, more and more came to realize that such extreme measures were untenable. And so, some years back, it was decided that one among us would journey into the outside world to gather the most precious resource of all, knowledge. They must grasp the complex workings of the larger world and tune themselves to the pulse of modern life until it beats with their own. Then they must return to the village and teach all they have learned. And you are this person, I take it? My family name, I'm not going to even pronounce that word, means cloud. And like a cloud, I drift from land to land, and eventually return to my home to provide the nourishing rain of knowledge to my people. I see. That's why you're so eager to learn about the Shitona. From the way of life, I hope to extract valuable nuggets of wisdom that will help my own people. When I heard the Shitona, I imagined how Evira would live across the sea. How would our long lives play out in a different environment? What sort of society would we build? Perhaps peoples are so far apart, but so similar. I had to see for myself how you fared. I apologize for speaking so long. Thank you for lending us your map, Cecilla. I can tell you care deeply about your people. Bear a heavy responsibility, man. They are my family. Although my path is not an easy one, I would climb even the sheerest cliff for their sake. You really would, wouldn't you? Never mind that. Thank you for sharing your story with us, Uzo. Thank you both for a job well done. I look forward to hiring your services again, Cecilla. No problem, mans. Alright. I'm a great gatherer. I'm no longer a greenhorn. Alright, what's next, man? Good to see you, Cecilla. Kind of see how business is doing. I've finished my work. If you require Cecilla's aid, then allow me to help. Of course, I'm grateful to have such an eager worker in my employ, but I must remind you to rest. Even you have a limit, surely. My masters trained me well for my role. An endless journey requires endless vitality, and I was prepared to endure such a trial. Well, I've no reason to mistrust your judgment, but I know how tiring a long journey can be, so don't hesitate to take a constitutional at your leisure. You do? I thought you rarely ventured past the city's gates. Oh, you seem busy. Should I return later? Who's this? Who's this snobby looking lady? What's up with these names? I'm gonna call you Yoda. Yoda, welcome. Feel free to browse my wares. My employees here shall be glad to help with anything you might require. Employees? You hired more? 2 more? Up against that you'd record this foolish distraction after that old codger retired. So many moons do you tend to stay cooped up in the city playing shopkeep like a child? Ugh. If there's anything you wish to order, please simply say the word. That is why you're here, isn't it? You never did listen. Fine. If you insist on keeping this up, then I could use cleansing supplies for the household. You know where to make your delivery. Great. She seems snobby. That was my sister. Born of a different mother, but my sister all the same. Among the Shitona and the Vire where you hail from, I wager, it's not an uncommon circumstance. The gender of my people becomes apparent as we grow. A large majority are women, with men being somewhat of a rarity. Thus, we generally do not marry a single partner, as is common with other peoples. Most of us have siblings with different mothers or fathers. But regardless of blood, a customer is a customer, and her order must be fulfilled. The delivery of supplies that our people use to cleanse their homes in the midst of bustling cities. Sprigs of sake, sage, and purifying water from God, these names, dude! Fuck! Come cook me out of both, and so I'm tasking you with journeying to Shunye and gathering whichever would best suit your skills. No problem. I shall go too and bring back what Cecil cannot. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Wachumeqimeqi. Alright. As before, I'll get the supplies, and then I will be right back. So, sit tight, and we'll be in a jiffy. Alright, we're back. I got the stuff. Hey, mans. Here's your stuff. Excellent work, Cecil, although I shouldn't be surprised. I admit I'm half tempted to keep this delivery for myself, but alas, Uvo should be returned soon, and then we can get everything together to send to my sister. Alright. Well, everything seems to be in order and all my standards. Thank you both again, once again. So these cleanse your homes. How exactly? Do they keep insects away? Or perhaps they keep the floors clean? Indeed, they do serve such purposes, but more importantly, they're essential to upholding Shitona customs. Even among those of us living in the cities, keeping in harmony with nature is of the utmost importance. All things breathe the life energy of life. The earth and sea, the rivers and the forests, the rain, wind, and sun. Every animal that walks, swims, or flies is beholden to this energy. By attuning ourselves to its flow and availing ourselves of its blessing, we become a part of it, and thus a part of every living being under the heavens. And so, when we choose a place to live, we do our best to keep things as they are. We fell trees only when absolutely necessary, or else live in the natural shelter of caves. Some of our small settlements even make use of buildings abandoned by other peoples. Of course, the Shitona are not a monolith, and since the Dawntrail are not unified Tyrol, many have come to hold different values to their ancestors. Nowadays, Shitona are not uncommon sight, even in the metropolis like Tuli. Some even consider embracing change to be part of nature's flow. However, no small number of city-dwelling Shitona feel an almost unbearable sense of suffocation when inside current buildings. I see. I suppose these supplies are a way of allowing nature's blessing to your homes and maintain your connection to its cycle. Exactly. Saka Sage is native to the wilderness of Shunye and is purported to be closely linked to the greater power flowing around us, which lends its potent cleansing properties. I'm not gonna try to say the word. Nick feeds into several bodies of water, Lake Tori among them. Such water passes through countless valleys and under vast reaches of sky that connects us to that unfathomable journey. Yoda lived near those waters for some time, in fact. After her children self on their own journey, she settled down in Tule with a new family, but she still maintains a strong connection to the natural energies which she was once surrounded by. So we best not keep her waiting, eh? I'll go myself, but I've had enough of her scoldings for one day. Could you go in my stead, Cecily? You can expect a satisfactory reward for your troubles, I promise. Not a problem. Alright. Hey. Alright. On to the next. I've finished putting together Yoda's delivery. Please be careful with it. Thanks. I'll take it. Thanks, mans. She lives in a resplendent quarter. Here, I've marked it on your map. Master Shunye, I'll go along with Sasa with your permission. Consider it a diversion from my work. You've been urging me to take your time to relax, after all. You have a stranger idea of relaxation, but I see no reason to object. Very well, you both can deliver this package to my sister. Apologies for the imposition, Cecila. Let's depart at once. Alright. There. Is this your house? You live in a frickin' mansion, lady. Oh, you two. Saw you at my brother's shop, yes? I take it he asked you to deliver my order? There you go. Yes, everything's here. I must say these materials are of a higher quality than I've ever come to expect. My brother has had a good stroke of fortune with you two, it seems. I apologize for my conduct before. It was unbecoming of me, and I hope to make amends. But above all, please help my brother succeed in his endeavors. You appeared rather supportive earlier. I was under the impression you wished you would quit his shop and leave the city. Why? Surely life here is not so terrible a prospect. I thought there was something different about you. You don't hail from Tural, do you? People value living in harmony about nature above all. Settle only when that harmony won't be disrupted. In small villages, usually. They are built and maintained by our women. The men travel from village to village, fostering our bonds with one another. Our families are built upon the relationship between parent and child. When a child is born, their mother and father become inextricably bound to each other as well. I mean, isn't that marriage, though? What makes that any different than normal marriage? What the fuck? Mothers live with the children until they become independent, while fathers continue to travel. While the seasons turn, the men visit their families in each village they pass through. Although their time together is fleeting, it's always precious. We talk until the small hours of the morning, sharing all that has happened since we last met. The father tells us how the little villages fare and makes our small settlements feel so much larger. Although there is no one place that we can point to as home as the Chitona, we are connected in this way like the roots of a great tree. Fascinating. We virally lead such different lives. Yet even so, there are shades of similarity. I take it Shunye did not always live in Thule then. He used to travel the land as well. The bond with his first family was formed in a small village to the north among the tall mountains. Yet not long after his departure one season, the village was suddenly destroyed. None survived. No one knows exactly what happened, but those who saw the aftermath said that nothing but scarred and scorched earth remained. A terrible sight. Since that day, Shunye ceased to travel. For 50 years he's lived in the city, all alone. "50 years? That means... How many winters has Shunye seen exactly?" He has been born shortly after the formation of Thule, so that would make him 80 or so, I suppose. Holy shit, he's old! He doesn't look old at all. 80? All the time I've been a fool. His nature is so amiable, I thought he'd be the same age as I. How could he forgive such utter rudeness? Praying to his past, not paying him any of the proper respects. I must apologize to save my honor and my life. How old are you? Come on, it can't be that bad. I haven't seen but 32 winters. A babe compared to Shunye. Firemen must pay the utmost respect to their elders. Those who forget this do not live to become an elder themselves. I must make amends to Shunye. You're his sister. Please tell me what I can give him. I don't think Shunye cares, but you seem quite insistent, so perhaps something you could sell it as an apothecary? A fellow friend of mine once told me that the highlands of Urko one can find many rare plants and minerals, flowers that bloom but once in many moons, emeralds with enchanting patterns, and more besides. A brilliant idea! I shall depart to Urko at once to collect the finest items I can. Cess, I must request your aid. Although the burden of shame is solely mine to bear, I feel that I alone cannot gather enough items to make up the magnitude of my disrespect. Will you agree? Please, you'll be my savior. I think you're a little overdramatic, man, but sure. Thank you, Cecil. I shall leave at once. Let's meet again in the apothecary to deliver my offering. Lord, it must be a cultural thing. Alright. Mine a precious God damn it. Mine a precious material at the sunken stars. Okay. I already forget where I'm going. Urko? Yoctorol. I already forgot where I was going. Well, that doesn't fucking help me, actually. Where is Where in Yoctorol? Urko. In the upper mountains. Got it. Alright. Let's go mine ourselves a thing. And since this doesn't really count, I'll include it. As a, actual, like, quest step. How hard can it be, right? Mine a precious, god damn it. I can talk. Just think, that one dungeon is way the fuck up there. Big claw marks on the side of the mountain. Hey. That was easy. That was painless. One whack, and that's all it took. Alright. Look at him! Welcome back, Cessa. Uvlo told me everything. Most sympathetically, I might add. Yeah, I can tell. Look at him. There's much I would say on the matter, but as I'm taking to understand that you got me a gift, I would happily receive it from you first. There you go, man. I got something wrapped in a box. I'm not quite sure what it is. My word. Uvlo's gift alone left me speechless. This is surely more than I deserve. The materials of this quota can only be guided by truly skilled hands. I'm grateful, you can be sure. All is forgiven, Uvlo. In fact, there's nothing for me to forgive. As Yoda would told you, my people live with their mothers until they become of age. From her, they learn all the skills and knowledge they need to flourish without any strict hierarchy among the men. While I appreciate your gesture, I would be much obliged if we could continue on as we have been. Well... Come on, man. Perk up! As you wish, Master Shunye. I'm glad we reached an understanding. Now let's get back to work, shall we? Before that, regardless of whether or not I owe you respect, I still pry into your past and only sate my own curiosity. And for that, I am deeply sorry. There's no need. Well, it wasn't as if I meant to keep it a secret. So let me clear the air. What Yoda told you was true. My travels ended 50 years ago after I lost my family. To us, death isn't something to be mourned. It's merely another part of the life cycle of life. I should have carried on and found a new family in a new village. But I couldn't. Not while the cause of my family's death remained a mystery. Do you truly know nothing? The complete destruction of a settlement, even a small one, which sure would not have gone unnoticed. I think you underestimate how small you can count. How small you can count the number of the houses on one hand. To reach the nearest proper village, we would have to traverse over 2 towering mountains. Few could have witnessed the incidents. The scale of destruction was too great for bandits. Many suggested that a Tyrell of Vidral was to blame. I was lodged in the aforementioned village when the tidings reached me. A few days prior, a streak of light had scarred the skies, so bright that it was clearly visible even in the daytime. It disappeared behind the mountain peaks, and soon after the earth trembled. The trees and mountains shook, and when a wind bore dust into the valleys. That sounds like a meteor. Perhaps magic's called a star down in the heavens. Meteor magic! Was it a black mage summoning meteor? The LB3 that whole settlement. That was the conclusion I reached as well. A meteor from the heavens struck my family's home by pure chance. Anyway, it's only a theory. You would think the evidence of such a tragedy would be more definitive, but it hasn't been quite that easy. Wait a moment, please. Ooh, pretty rock. What is this? Stones like this were found scattered round about in the ruins, as if heaven themselves wept to see the devastation. I've taken to calling them the Azure Tears. Been in this business for so long, I can hazard guesses as to their true nature. I believe that proof of what befell my family must lie within these fragments. Even so, decisive evidence continues to elude me. Then again, perhaps my desire for answers causes me to concede connections where there are none. But if I wanted to, I can't let it go. Man, I can't blame you. Can't blame you, man. It is what it is. Alright. Welcome back to my Apothcary, Seth. I always appreciate you stopping by. We're as busy as ever, as you can see. Although, since we last met, Uvla has been acting strangely. He brushed off all my attempts to help and works as a singular focus. I think he still believes he crossed the line and asking about my past, and is focusing his efforts more than usual to make up for his perceived affront. All for which, as I say, I have no work for you today. If our tasks for the day are done, I think we should try to unravel the nature of these azure tears you found. Aha, now I understand now. You squared away today's work so quickly because you had hoped to employ Cecil's energies on the tears. Not exactly. Yeah, I admit that thought did occur to me. I found it difficult to think of aught else but as of late. What else could those stones possibly be? Truth be told, I can scarcely imagine how it might prove they're connected to a meteor. As difficult as it is for me to admit, Master Shunye, your theory remains just that. Yet, if we were to find even small crystals at another location where meteors had fallen, what then? Will that not provide sufficient evidence that the two phenomena are related? I don't think you'll find anything. I've asked all who had listened as if they've seen anything resembling the tears, but even the most worldly of my connections say they are quite singular. Perhaps they are the only objects of their kind in this world. In that case, they would really be rarer than any precious jewel. I believe your inability to find any information on them gives us all the more reason to look. Tess and I have yet to search for them, after all, and you know how our skill at finding the rarest of specimens. You can't give up yet. I want to know the truth. You too? Very well, but I will make this imposition on you once. You've done enough for me already. Now, there are several locations in Trail where meteorites have fallen in the past. The Zexudroid draws craters purported to be largest by the scholars who studied such phenomena. However, over the years, nature has healed the scar left behind. Soil has accumulated and the trees have taken root. Now the area is known as Yaktel. But I doubt a little earth and wood can deter you. Somewhere under all that wildlife, you may find material that has lain there since the meteor struck. If you find something that resembles the tears, then we may be able to solidify a theory on what transpired 50 years ago. We'll know where they came from meteorite at least. Well then, let's waste no time. Off to Yaktel we go. Wachumeqimeqi! Alright, I'm gonna go gather the earth fragments, then I'll be back. So, sit tight. Alright, we're back. Got my stuff. Hey man, I got your fancy schmancy rocks. Amazing. This is plenty composed of materials entirely different from those found on the surface of Yaktel. Much more dense, much older, and shaped so beautifully, besides. I think there was Cecil. With both your and those samples, we may be able to reach a conclusion at last. Did you discover aught? Well, I was able to detect small fragments of a deep blue substance. When I shined a light on it, the color did indeed resemble the tears. But even so, there wasn't enough. As far as my ability is concerned, there's no way to say for certain that these two substances are one and the same. I see. Yet you admit a possibility that they may be related. These are good tidings. You simply need to keep digging, and eventually we'll find a sample large enough to give us a definitive conclusion. I do not expect this journey to be finished after just one outing. I shall return to Yaktel as many times as it takes. Why must you do this to yourself, Uvlo? You needn't feel obligated to help me resolve this personal matter. At the end of the day, it won't teach you any more about the Shitona. You are correct. I admit that digging deep into the soul is not a task that will help my people thrive. Yet you're hearing Yoda speak of such affection about her family, and seeing you suffer so deeply from the loss of your own, I came to a realization. Though we may call ourselves by different names, both are people's cherished family above all. If my village suffered the same fate as yours, I would not rest until I found the cause. I could not suffer to live with myself otherwise. And I know you feel the same. That is why we still have the tears, even though you hold not but painful memories. Before, you said your long years of joining the shop allowed you to guess that the stones related to your tragedy. But now I know that deep down you started this apothecary because you knew it would bring you closer to an answer. As your employee, it's only me that should help you achieve this goal. Allow me to help you, Master Shunye. So reckless you on your own journey, but so diligent in helping me along in mine. I hope you've at least managed to save a handful of coins since coming here. Huh. If you're going forward with this, I must ask you to spare Yaktel future digging. I wouldn't sacrifice the region's natural beauty in my quest, nor damage another's home. There has to be a different way, but I shall require time to find it. When I do, I only ask that you be headed to help Cecila. Can I count on you? No problem. Thank you, truly. I'll have to sell a good portion of my stock to pay back the debt I owe you after all is said and done. Hey. I didn't turn the image off because I'm an idiot. I'm a glorious gatherer. Alright, we're off to the last quest. Wellspring of Tears. I mean, make sure the image is turned off this time. You're just in time, Cecila. I would exceed counsel for my best gatherers. Uvla, a minute, if you will. A moment. Before we began, I again I offer my thanks. What you brought back from Yartel is more than I could have imagined. Even so, our efforts were lacking. We still have yet to identify the origins of the tears. We thought where they might go next. And a matter of speaking, I suppose, but I must warn you, I can't say for certain we'll find anything. Most of my knowledge of the tears comes from the stories I've heard from fellow merchants. In fact, it was a merchant from Brox who suggested Yaktel as a place of inquiry, given its history with meteorites. We often exchange information as well as goods. And although that lead ultimately bore no fruit, looking back, I believe my mistake was relying solely on incomplete information. When the merchant misleads you, you need to respect it from a mook to complete the picture. I see you're on the same track, Cecila. The merchant in question was of the X-Brawl, and as such may not have been privy to information from the mook. Although the two tribes are now at peace, their history is one of conflicts. Even if the merchant had been on one of their ancestral enemies, the Mamul, Jah, who populate Mamuk, are known to be wary of outsiders. I understand times have changed in that respect, but I wonder how realistic it would be to try to seek information from Mamuk. You've been there before? Of course. We've been working together for so long, I almost forgot your storied history. Obviously, the right of succession brought you to every corner of Tyrol. Then I'll give you this task, Tesla. Go to Mamook and speak with the people there. Perhaps someone there has seen something that resembles the tears. You should accompany her. I can manage the shop well enough in your absence. That is kind of you, truly. But even a half as good as gathering information as you are gathering materials, your talents will be wasted here. Please, go with Cecila. I shall remain here and await your gift of good tidings. You can be sure of it. Unless apart from Mamook. 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 Alright, ready? Off to Mamook. Alright. Here we are. I suppose now we split and speak with whoever we see. Do you disagree? Ah, yes. Master Shunye, you did mention Melujah here are wary of outsiders. Then you take the lead, Sessa, and I shall follow and learn. Alright. I was taken to understand that Mamuka was a rather isolated settlement, and the Aetheryte stands by its entrance. Makes you wonder whether one could be built in my village. Just a thought best forgotten. I gather the cost to maintain the Aetheryte is quite exorbitant. Every day I spend on the outside world, I realize more and more revolves around money. Boy, wait till you get to Ul'dah. Oh, I recognize you. You're with Bakul Jaja, weren't you? What business do you have with one such as me? A crystallized stone shaped like a teardrop? I can't say I've seen such a thing. If I had, I'm sure I would have remembered it. Alright, that was a bust. I cannot say I've ever seen such statues quite like these before. I take it these designs were meant to evoke a Mamuljan's head. Of course, I understand the desire to immortalize one's forebears with stone objects. My people do much the same. Yet to build structures of stones in the middle of such a lush forest, no matter how many times I see it, I always find it peculiar. Boy. Why, isn't this an interesting line of inquiry? Yoctel was once rich with the ores of novel he used, but I've never heard of one shaped like a teardrop. It would take a quite skilled artisan to make a shape like that. Perhaps some force would apply to the ore right at the moment of crystallization, or perhaps the tears themselves were crystallized. But only those are idle thoughts. Either way, I've never seen such a thing with my own eyes. Well, that was a bust, too. 2 for 0, or 0 for 4! 0 for 2! Can't see him, right? Can't you see him resting? Why are you asking me about crystals? Just take a few steps into the wilderness and you'll practically trip over them. Eh? You mean that's not what you're looking for? Why do you think I care? Oh, fine, grouch. Yeesh. Fine, I don't want to talk to you anyway. Lord. Don't you bite my head off? Do you think I remember every single rock I lay eyes on? That's the one thing we don't have any shortage of around here. Maybe if rocks would feel a hungry belly, I'd be paying more attention to them, but they can't, so I don't. Now leave me be. Good lord. We've learned nothing. Says, if you will, I'll suggest the approach we are crushing from a different angle. We can say one more thing for certain, that is, the stone is rare indeed. So instead of seeking it out outright, perhaps you should first seek someone who collects such objects. God damn. Well, last 2 people were bitches. This is the same line of questioning. Yep. Gatherer, Mumuk. A friend of mine had a particular knack for it. Every time he came back from scouting mission, he would have some rare specimen in his hands. It was a nice way to earn some extra coin. He's no longer with us, unfortunately, but his grandson works at Wachumeqimeqi. I hear he's adept to hand himself. The boy's name was... What, you don't remember his name? Man. Collector of rare stones and plants, to say. I'm sure I've heard of at least one. Ah, yes. I do recall the young Gonzalo Jean mentioning his grandfather had quite a collection. He used to bring back all sorts of bits and bobs back from his reconnaitors. I don't know how to say that word. I admit it's been quite a while since I've spoken with Gonzalo Jean, so I can't say for sure whether he's still held on to his grandfather's belongings. That sort of sounded very familiar. I believe this Gonzalo Jean's grandpa may be the very collector we seek. Or may have been, rather. Still, the obvious course of action is to speak with Gonzalo Jean and see if he still possesses any of his grandfather's belongings. Let's depart to Wachumeqimeqi Grove. Alright. Everywhere is surrounded by trees of unimaginable height. It feels so small in comparison. The planet Vira, known as the Rava, who dwell within the Golmore jungle, would likely be unmoved by such a sight. Instead, their eyes would seek out places where their natural complexion will allow them to blend into the surrounding foliage. By contrast, the Vira and my tribe are more suited to camouflaging themselves among the snow-capped mountaintops. Still, the fauna of this place does have unique coloring. Perhaps I could have disguised myself as maybe if myself I so desired. Turn around a moment, Tesla. No! We got things to do. I don't need you playing, you know. I don't need you pulling on a ghillie suit. Alright. Where are you at, man? There you are. I still love this song, man. Out of all the areas, I love all the zones and Tyrol. This place has the best music. It's so good. I love it. It's so good. It's so good. I love it. Oh, hello. Do you need something from me? You're Gonzalo Jean, yes? Grandson of a renowned collector, as we have heard. I am, but my grandfather was indeed fond of showing off his collection. But how in the world did you know that? Well, that explains everything. Still, this is quite an unexpected visit. I mean, thank you for indulging us. So, did your grandsire's collection contain anything that might resemble the stone that he told you about? By the music? Probably not. Oh, maybe so. Yes. This description made me recall one of my favorites, in fact. I'm sad to say I lost it when I was a child, though. But my memory of it is crystal clear. Well, shit. I see. Fortunately, memory is not enough for us to judge whether the two are related. I may know where he found it. As you heard, my grandpa served as a scout when the Mamuljan and Ixbral were at war. He was known as a swimmer without equal, and used the cenotes to travel to every corner of the forest unnoticed. Cenotes. Those are the springs which dot the forest, correct? Are you saying they are connected somehow? Yes, the network of tunnels runs deep under the earth. One can travel the width and breadth of the forest, if you know where to go, that is. I remember Grandfather said he found a crystal on a mission to Ikbrox. It was lying there on the cenote floor, as if waiting for him. It's like he found it in Ikbrox Suli. The waters once ran red as blood. The Ixbrox would bury their fallen warriors there, and none expected a scout would be bold enough to trespass. This story has promise. Samples we found before were pulled from deep layers of earth, formed at a time immediately following the meteorite's impact. There is no telling how far down those tunnels can reach, but doubtless they passed through the same layers. Naturally, material of these layers would corrode and settle at the bottom of the cenotes. Yes, this has promise indeed. Pasolja, you've given us direction. Thank you, truly. No, thank you for allowing me to remember my grandpa so fondly. May you find that which you seek. Let's make our way to Soli, Cecila. What the fuck is that? Is that one cenote that's way off in the middle of nowhere? Oh, maybe not. I was thinking over here. It's a different Soli. It's this Soli over here that I gotta go to. Alright. Cenotes! This is Rock Sully. But hard to believe these waters were once stained with red from the blood of war. Luckily the snow is now clear and our vision should be unclouded as we search. Or such say your vision. This is difficult to confess. Huh. As you know, I am just trained on the snowy mountaintops. You can imagine how poorly I might fare in a body of water. Although it shames me to place this burden on your shoulders, I would rather my soul not join those that are set adrift in the snow. That is, of course, assuming you possess a skill that I lack. Man, you can't swim, I get it. Good, good. Cecila, thank you. I've never been able to depend on you when I find myself wanting. You shall be the example I strive to emulate in my future travels. I shall stay here and await your safe return. Good luck. I love this music, man. I love it. It's so good. It's so fucking good. I almost don't want to get on my damn mount. Boy, I wouldn't want to swim in this either. You can't even see the fucking bottom. Man, I wouldn't want to fucking swim this either. I mean, look at this shit. It's like, man, you can't even fucking see the bottom unless you go all the way down. Alright. Hey, there it is. Well, that was easy. I love the song, man. It's so fucking good. Dawntrail story might not have been the greatest, but it has some pretty good music. Got some pretty good music, man. You made it! You were down there so long, I began to feel the worst. Must be a fat fish for now. Adaptable. Indefatigue. What the fuck kind of word is that? Indefatigable. Your lungs are. So, did you find out? I found this. A singular fragment. In my best recollection, this looks almost exactly like the stone of Master Shunye had. Its shape, an unmistakable blue. You did it, Cecila. Appears our tuition isn't correct after all. This crystal is a remnant of a grievous wound dealt to the earth. It was the cause in ancient times, and 'twas the case 60 years ago. We must return Master Shunye with haste. Okay, man. He's so excited. Look at him go. Did not want to do that. Alright. I've never seen you so excited to bring me delivery. I take it something good is in store. Yes. Where did you really find this in Yoctel? But how? I put on a swimsuit. You dive to the bottom of a cenote? But the waters are so cold and the caves are so labyrinthine. Not to mention a single misplaced stroke with cloud vision for sediments. I mean, so here you are before me, and I'm more grateful for that than anything else. Shunye's Apothcary could ask for none more skilled, none more brave than you two. I'll start examining this right away. Soon we'll have our answers. They look identical. You found the impossible. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that this fragment was made from the very same materials the Apothcaries I found in my ruined home. Have you proven your theory as to the true nature of those stones, and how your fate met its fate? How your fate met its fate? How your village met its fate? I am now certain that these stones form much in the same way as the obsidian one does near the volcanoes. When minerals are melted by extreme heat, they cool into glassy lumps. In this case, when the meteor struck, the heat must have not only melted the earth, but sent it flying to the heavens. And when the air, it cooled in the shape of whittled petals, the shape of tears. But they hold something else as well. The meteorite brought instantaneous destruction to the area of its impact. All the plants, animals, and people gone. The life force scattered into the air. I see. It is ether which sleeps in those stones. When that energy fails to return to the live stream, it crystallizes. Just so. I believe these are more than mere lumps of glass. The blue light is the shining essence of all that was taken from me. For 50 years of search, for 50 years I knew one thing, that answers would never bring them back. I knew that even if I proved the cause of my tragedy, that revelation would bring no comfort. Even so, the land of Terrell wept that day for all that was lost in an instant. Now that I know that, I can move beyond my sorrow. I can remember my family as they were. Their smiles, those bright days we shared, our happiness. Thank you, you two. Feel as if a great weight has been lifted off my shoulders. The nature's grand cycle, the life I lived back then shall remain a thick shining beacon. I knew you had not strayed far from your roots. We simply had to help you dig them up again. It may soon be time to depart upon another journey, the first in a long while. Not to find a new family per se, but to attune myself to nature's rhythm once again. It brought me pieces of a much greater whole that I would rejoin. I shall let the winds breath carry me where it will, and so long as the boundless horizon is before me, I shall walk. A worthy goal. Another one? Yeah. Although you may tire of my praise, I'd like to express my thanks to both of you once more. It would have been exceptional help if you did nothing more than gather what I asked, but you wouldn't be far beyond that. Likewise, there more of the Shitona than I could have hoped. Yet my own quest is far from over. I'll take this opportunity to go out into Toronto and experience all it has to offer, the culture of Shitona included. So if you do plan on living in the city, I may ask that you allow me to join you. Besides, the journey is only as good as your companions, or so they say. What about your stall? Do you have room for another? Why limit your journey to just Toronto? You pose an interesting question. Can't say I've had a particular destination in mind, so a trip across the salt would be as good as any. Perhaps I might find someone who can guide me across the world's breadth in exchange for a ramble around Toronto. Does anyone suitable spring to mind? By the way, these are decisions to be made in the future. For now, I don't intend to close up shop. Truly? Regardless of my reasons for starting this apothecary, I've become quite fond of it. To say nothing of my local loyal customers. Abandoning them without notice would be unseemly. And besides, how long do you believe you can travel with such a light coin purse, Ulo? Sleeping under the stars and foraging your own food will only take you so far. Soon you'll be penniless, and Terrell's less hospitable climes might well take you. Well, I can... You can stay here and earn a bit more coin before our trek. That would be a terrible honor if I let one of my best workers be so reckless. So, for a while at least, let's continue on as we have been. There's so much more to be done after all. Hey. Hey! Shunye's Apothcary is done! I'm a genius gatherer. I'm a holistic gatherer. Holistic? Whatever. Alright, but that is the end of that. Next up, we gotta do fishing, but that's gonna be for another part. And since we did that for, since this applied to both miner and gatherer, I don't have to do miner and botanist, I don't have to do one for botanist. So yes, we gotta do fishing, and then the gathering side of things in terms of these Wachumeqimeqi will be done. So we'll talk the fishing one next time, then move on to bigger and better things, whatever that may come. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you then. Later.